Is your haircut a mess for the last few weeks? Let me guess, you're either afraid to start, don't know what to do, or think it's time consuming. Well, here's 4 easy steps for you to cut your hair at home for beginners. So if you're new to cutting your hair at home, this will be the best and the most easiest haircut tutorial you ever need. Also, if you stick till the end, I'll give you my best tips to get a good fade as well as make your beard look sharp. Hi, it's Junaid from Meninfluencer, where I want to help you become the dream version of yourself by giving you tips and tricks on lifestyle, grooming and style. So if you're new here, consider to hit that subscribe button, and all the things I'm going to mention in this video can be found in the description box. Anyways, let's jump into the video. Step number 1 is preparation. Before you get the model haircut that you've always desired, you need to have these things ready to prepare yourself. A hair clipper. I'm using the Wall Pro Basic corded clipper. It is a pretty old clipper, but it will get the job done. However, if you're looking to buy a new one, I'd recommend getting the Babyliss XTP hair clipper. I'll have links to Amazon US and UK in the description box. The next thing I want you to have ready is a hair comb and hair scissors. Pretty straightforward. The final thing I want you to get ready is your facial hair groomer. This is one of the best ones I've ever tried. It has 5 cutting heads and it was only 25 pounds. And now the second half of your preparation. So for the second half of your preparation, I want you to wet your hair. So for this part, pretty much all you need is water and a towel. So obviously start off by wetting your hair thoroughly. Make sure you go into your hair and not just on the sides, but make sure it actually absorbs all the water. Then the next obvious thing to do is to towel dry your hair. You obviously don't have to make your hair dry again, but just make sure it's moist rather than actually wet. Once your hair is towel dried, grab your comb and we're slowly going to allocate your hair into the right segments. So find your part ways where you normally actually part your hair and do the same on the other side of your hair. Remember guys, you don't have to rush things, just take it slow and make sure you do it properly. So if you followed my guidance correctly, it should probably look something like this. Just make sure it's done properly. So now you've got your top and the sides. Well done, we're finished with step 1. So now on to step 2, the pull-out trick. So first we actually have to distinguish your beard follicles from the hair on the side. So as you can see in this video, I'm doing that by pushing my hair upwards, and that way you can actually see that your hair from your sides is most likely thicker than your beard follicles. Since this is the first time I'm cutting my own hair, therefore I'm going to start off by using a higher number to be on the safe side. In this case, I'm using the number 3 open. What open means is something I'll explain later. And then after that, I'm slowly going to start to use the pull-out trick. It is the same trick that your dad wished he used when you're gonna mess up your hair. So actually pay attention. Anyways, all jokes aside, so for this pull-out trick, you start off from the bottom, and if you almost reach the top, you're slowly pulling out. Just have a close look at how I'm doing it to make sure you actually understand the technique. So you want to use this pull-out trick on the side of your head as well as on the back. Just make sure everything is equal because that will make it easier for you. So let me throw a time lapse so you can understand how it looks like. As you can see here, I've used number 3 all around my head, and this is the result. So if this is the length you would prefer to have on the top here, you're good to go, and now we can start fading. We're actually going to start off using number 0 at the same spot as that I told you to distinguish your beard from your sides. And from that point you can pretty much start to trim your hair upwards. And then when you actually get to the point where you want your lower part of the fade start, stop. And as you can tell from the video now, this is actually the point where you start to draw a line all across your head. And please, once again, just take your time and relax. You don't have to rush things. And once you're done trimming everything below it, it should probably look something like this. And now we're gonna move on to step number 3. Open and close the lever. So your clipper should have a lever. The lever helps you with micro adjustments, so if it's open, it allows you to cut more, and if it's closed, less. So as you can see, before we used a number 3 open, and now we're gonna use a number 3 closed. And the one thing we're not gonna do now is to go as high as number 3 open. Because for number 3 open, we went all the way up. But for number 3 closed, we want to go up, but not all the way. Because that will create the fade effect. And once again, I'm gonna remind you, just take your time. You don't have to rush this. Because if you do rush it, you're probably gonna make some mistakes. So just take your time and slowly go all around, and once you're done with number 3 closed, we can move to the next one. So since the last we used was a number 3 closed, now we're gonna use a number 2 but open. And once again, we're gonna do the same like we did before, but we're gonna cut just a bit lower than we did before. So instead of going the same height as we went before, so to number 3 closed, now we're gonna go a bit lower to actually create that fade effect. And obviously this is something to everyone's preference, so it depends how you want your fade to look like. Because the next obvious step after number 2 open would be number 2 closed. But that's not what I did. So I actually left it in the mid section. It wasn't closed, neither was it open. Because this is the way I prefer it. So obviously you have to experiment how you want to do it yourself, but that's what I did. And after the number 2 mid section, I actually went to number 1 open. And this is actually where you start to see the fade. Because everything you've done before this, start to see the fade. Because now you can see your hair as well as your skin. And obviously after using number 1 open, I use number 1 closed. And now you can actually pretty much see all the things coming together and actually give you a decent haircut. But wait. And as you can see, while I'm rotating around on the back of my head, you can see scars. Those are not marks from me actually cutting my hair. Just some clarification for the haters. Now you can pretty much see all the elements coming together to actually create a good fade and a decent haircut. However, we're actually not done yet, because in the beginning of the video I also showed you how you can make your beard look more sharper. And that's what I'm gonna show you now. And that actually brings me to step number 4, the beard effect. So this is actually where we're gonna use the facial hair groomer that I recommended. Luckily for you, the way you actually fade your beard is pretty much the same way you fade your hair. So don't only listen to my voice, but actually also look at how I'm doing it. Because I start off slowly with the lowest number on the side and then slowly increasing the numbers. And once I'm actually to my desired area, I move on to the next part. For this part you actually want to go from the top to the bottom and do it slowly, because if your moustache is on point, you'll probably look like Mario. And after you've done that, you simply just cut your neck hair, and that's pretty much done. And obviously you're ready for the spectacle that I'm about to show you now. But before I show you the end results, just listen to this poor boy. So as you can see, look how big the mess is that I've made. So you better subscribe because it took me a long time to do all of this. And I hope you appreciate all the effort. I hope you guys actually enjoyed the effort that I put in this video. And if you actually did, please share this video with your friends. As you can see here, I'm doing my hair just to make sure I look good on camera. Well, you might be thinking, why am I checking myself out this much? Well, the reason for it is because I haven't seen myself look this good in almost a month. And you can look this good as well if you follow my steps, and if you do actually enjoy this video, share this with all your friends because that will help my channel out greatly. So that's it for me. I'll see you on my next video.